Hello, this is Crypto Neptune, and in this video, we're going to talk about why I feel PulseChain will change a lot of lives and kind of what's next for PulseChain. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice, only use risk capital, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So, we all know the story of Richard Hart and what he has done to essentially fork Ethereum. Something like that has never been done before, where you have forked another layer one solution. And the goal behind this particular fork is to create certain privacies, but also Richard wants to be able to create a legacy, not only for himself, but also to be able to put people in a better financial situation. And what better way to do that than to create a whole bunch of millionaires? And he put out an interesting tweet here, and let's read this tweet. And he basically says, I'm doing great and will continue to be great no matter how many people attack me or whom they work for. Hex was hated and gate kept all the way to 1,000,000% gains. You can't stop an idea whose time has come. True decentralized systems are here and they're never going away ever. So we all know these high IQ guys like Elon Musk, like Mark Cuban, like the folks at Apple, all the people behind Apple and all the products. We're like, for example, let's talk about Tesla. With Tesla, we already know it was essentially an idea to have those electronic vehicles for Tesla and all the SpaceX and all the different things that Elon Musk has put out there. But the point behind that is whenever there is an idea, an innovative idea, there is no way you could stop it because that person is two steps ahead of you mentally. They have it thought out. They have this gift to just think about things in a totally different way, in a totally different scale. And that's what Richard Hart is saying here. Like, you're not going to be able to stop what's coming. I know how to fork this blockchain and pump it. And we don't have to look far, guys. We know what Richard Hart has done in the past. Like the original Hex on ETH, he pumped this to the ever loving crap. I mean, it was just three zeros down here at one point, like really, really low prices. Three zeros and one, and lost all three zeros, and it pumped up to, I think it was even higher than that. I think it was like originally it was like, yeah, well, it says 47 cents here, but I believe it was like 50 something cents. But for him to be able to do that, he created a lot of millionaires already. He's already done that. And he's, I imagine he's learned a lot just from this original case with Hex. He's learned a lot from this. So this was Richard Hart in 2021. Imagine Richard Hart today in 2024. He's way wiser and way smarter. Guys like this just continue to learn and to thrive. But with these assets, PulseChain, it's at the bottom. It's four zeros and four. Hex is two zeros and nine. Ink is $2.19. Could potentially pull back a little bit more. That's what I've been kind of hearing. But it's regardless, it's at a good price point, and it could potentially drop back to the one. So we'll just keep an eye on that. PulseX, right? We know about PulseX. We know about RapBTC. But the point I'm trying to make behind all this is these have like a ton of room to grow with market cap. You look at Hex, that's got some room. Pulse Chain, could it potentially lose a couple of zeros? I I honestly, for me personally, feel that it can do that. Again, as the proof is kind of in the pudding with what Richard has essentially done. The same with PulseX. It has the burning mechanic in which it's deflationary. So imagine when ETH finally goes on its run and gets to 10K, that's just going to be more that he can pump back into PulseChain. And then on top of that, just more on-chain evidence of Richard essentially trying to, with the P stables, we all know the story with the P stables, but essentially with these P stables, trying to get these pegged to $1, and the work that he's doing within this Curve protocol. So imagine people. There's a lot of people holding these bags here of USDT fork, DAI fork, and USDC fork. A lot of people are holding those, but the point behind that is, again, other more opportunities on this bump post chain for you to make those gains. And you already know my feelings about incentive token. With incentive, it is of the four Richard Hart coins, it has the lowest market cap, and this one, in my opinion, is going to absolute send and change a lot of lives, in my opinion. And going back to, let's go back to Richard's tweets here. He's talking about his website. And, again, he's telling people, he's encouraging people. It says, like Ethereum, you probably might have free coins waiting for you. He's telling people to come over here, as this is going to be the blockchain where a lot is going to happen. You're literally on a layer one solution on the ground floor. And then here again, he's talking about the latest update to PulseX and his core coins here doing pretty good. And then going back up here to the top, and he's again promoting his coins day 500. So there's a lot of love and passion behind something like this that you build. And he says here, lastly, I guess people like Hex. So people are finally coming around, and there was a little bit of friction between eHex folks and Hex folks. Well, there shouldn't be any friction. Get a bag of PHEX on PulseChain, because potentially my feeling is that it could double. It could essentially, in my opinion, it could get to $1. That's just my opinion, but it's definitely going to shatter past that 50 cent mark. But it'll. That's just my opinion on that. But like I said, the proof is in the pudding. It's not. We've seen like what Richard has done before in the past, and he is steps above everybody else. And like I said, like guys like Richard Hart, you don't count him out. I think this is just going to be it's going to be a catalyst, whether it's one of his core four coins. I think it's going to be when the P stables peg, and it's just everybody is hearing about the chatter of PulseChain ripping to just ripping up. Well, people are gonna FOMO in. They're gonna bridge over from ETH over to PulseChain and essentially figure out what they can do to get some more of these fork coins, because that's what's gonna eventually end up happening, in my opinion. So for me in this video, kind of rambled a little bit, but I hope this made some sense to you. I'm feeling pretty good about what we have in store with PulseChain. I want to thank you for listening, and thanks for stopping by.